Andy Robertson, welcome to this one-to-one. First of all, congratulations. Final day of the season. Suddenly you finished third and you're looking forward to the Champions League.
Yeah, obviously it was a bit of a bit of a tough season, but going into the last season, I'm glad, the last game, I'm glad we weren't part of the excitement as such. We managed to do our job, and then somehow we managed to finish third, which is an added bonus. But Champions League for Liverpool was everything this season, and luckily we managed to achieve that, albeit on the last game of the season.
Was there always a confidence in that squad that you could do it?
I would love to say yeah, but I think at times it was really tough this season. Especially after Christmas, in between January to March. I think people did start to doubt it. Our own fans started to doubt it. People started to doubt it. But the good thing was that the players always believed that we would hit a run of form, whether it was too late or whether it was timed perfectly. It was yet to be seen. But the last 10 games we were excellent. I think 8 wins and 2 draws, and when you're under that kind of pressure, you can't ask for much more. And that's why we've got big game players at our club, and people stepped up to the plate. And luckily the teams above us started to fall. I think we're about 8 games to go. I think we were 8th, which is not a great position to be in. But to finish third was an achievement. Of course, our objectives at the start of the season were a lot different, Peter. But by the end, I think it became realistic we weren't going to win the league, and Champions League football was crucial for us.
When you see the manager at the end of a game, you could always see the spirit was still there. I always watched Jurgen Klopp, and he was coming on and he's giving you a huge cuddle. You seem to have a great relationship with him. What's so special about him?
I think everyone does. I think in terms of the gaffer, I think he's it's easy to say, but he is like the father figure. In terms of if anything's going on in your life off the field, he's the first person to get involved. He's the first person to offer help in any way possible. And I think, every player has that, whether how much serious it is or whatever. But, all players have that at one point in their career. And that's when he shows his human side. But also, as a manager, he's, like you said, he gets his, it's not just for show, the hugs and the putting the arm around you. He's like that in the training ground when there's no cameras on him. And the atmosphere in the training ground starts with him, and I think he knows that. He knows his responsibilities with that, and he does it very well. And that's why the atmosphere, since I've been there, has been excellent. The players feed off his energy, and I think that's key to our success over the last couple of seasons, and hopefully the seasons to come.
Yeah, qualifying for the Champions League was massive for a club like Liverpool, but some people look at special games. For me, the special game is West Brom. I mean, the keeper. I mean, am I right in thinking that you are the only one who actually drops back to cover the keeper going up?
Yeah, I think I was the only one at the halfway line, and I think if they'd cleared that, I think we were in a bit of trouble there. But I think that was the moment that you realised, okay, we're going to get Champions League football. I think nobody was going to stop us there. Of course, we still had a job to do in the last 2 games, but when your keeper scores in the 95th minute, you can't let him down after that. So he follows it up with 2 clean sheets, which is perfect. And obviously the season he's had in terms of off the field as well, it was an incredible moment for him. But it shows our spirit. It shows we've never backed down. We've always stood up to the fight, whether it's winning a game in the 5th minute or whether it's the 95th minute. We've never stopped, and I think we showed that against West Brom. And I'd have preferred if the goalkeeper didn't have to score, but it was a great header, and fair play to him. And I think that was the moment that we realised, okay, let's not let this opportunity drop, and let's go and get the Champions League.
Yeah, you've been in many a dressing room. You're a Scot. You know what it's like. You get absolutely caned for the least wee thing. Now, did you shed a tear for his after-match interview, or did he get caned a couple of days later?
No, to be fair, Ali is one of probably the most liked people in football, to be honest. I'd have loved to have take the mickey out of him a wee bit, but even me watching it, I think we had a tear in your eye. We felt how much he went through. His family are so close. It's incredible to see, and I think when you lose your dad in these terrible circumstances, it's never nice. And we've seen how much he hurt. He's probably still not over it. It will take so much time to get over it, but the first couple of weeks were tough, and we had to get round him. We had to get our arm around him and try and help him through. Obviously, in the mad times we're in just now, he couldn't go back to Brazil and see his mum and see his family and everything like that. And you know, that must have been tough in itself. But if that was the one moment that maybe, you know, seeing that his dad was looking over him and things like that, then that was the moment. And I think his emotion after the game was clear to see. His interview was one of the best I've ever watched, and you know, I think we were all emotional watching it. So, you know, fair play to him. And you know, like I said, Ali's one of the nicest guys I've ever met in football, and you know, we've all got a lot of time for him.
Yeah, Liverpool, you've achieved Champions League football. The season's over. Now it's all about Scotland. I mean, what a time for a player like yourself. Are these moments you can savour the intensity of domestic football now, Euro 2020?
Yeah, finally, you know, probably last night was the first real time I managed to sit back and think, okay, like now, you know, what's lying ahead of us? What's, you know, the excitement of, you know, a major tournament? And I've been quite good at blocking it out. I've been quite good at, you know, always, you know, whether, you know, I'm playing for Scotland and blocking out what's happening at Liverpool or vice versa, then I've always been quite good at it. So I've not tried to think about the tournament too much. I've just been trying to concentrate on, you know, getting Champions League football and trying to play well for Liverpool. But last night was probably the first time I sat back and thought, yeah, okay, let's go, let's do it. And we've obviously got, you know, 3 weeks probably now till our first game. You know, we obviously meet up on Thursday and go on a pre-camp, and that's when the excitement starts to build. The squad's announced, that's when it became real. And now, you know, we go over there, we go to prepare, and we go to be as ready as we can be. But it's an exciting time to be a Scotland player. Hopefully it's an exciting time to be a Scotland fan. I hope the country will be bouncing with it, and you know, hopefully we can bring a bit of joy to the country after, you know, an incredibly tough year for everyone.
What do you make of the squad?
Really, really excited by it. You know, I think the manager's tried to keep the core that's got him, you know, that's been with him since the start, and I think that's always good. You know, we've created a kind of club-like mentality within that squad, which is always difficult at national team, I feel, but we've managed it. We're a really close group now, and obviously experiencing the 2 penalty shootouts, the extra time and everything like that obviously helps that. But off the field, you know, we've got a really good bunch of boys, and we've now, you know, brought in, you know, 3 young players that will hopefully, you know, gain from the experience. You know, I've had a brief chat with all 3 of them, and you know, just told them to come in with the confidence that they're playing at club level, come in and do exactly what they've been doing at club level, because that's why they're there. And it's up to me and the other lads to make them feel welcome, and I've got no doubts about that. And yeah, so, you know, we've got a good mix between experience and youth, and, you know, exciting prospects, and I think that will stand them in good stead for, you know, hopefully a long Scotland career for them. But, you know, I'm glad that a lot of the core can make it as well. Sadly, we've lost a couple to injury. Ryan Jack, Kenny McLean, Ollie McBurney. You know, huge misses off the park and on the park. Incredible players, incredible guys, and you know, I'm gutted for them that they've missed that. But you know, they'll be back. They'll be back in the Scotland jersey, playing well, I'm sure, and hopefully we can get to more tournaments, and they can be a part of it.
Where did you get that sense of inspiration? I think it's a great touch that you realise as a captain there are 3 youngsters coming into the squad. They'll need that friendly word. They'll need that sense of belonging. Was that something that you witnessed early in your career from another captain somewhere else?
Yeah, look, I know as a young lad how daunting it can be going into, you know, especially a national team. You know, club level, you kind of settle quite quickly. You know, you've got the 2-3 weeks away to pre-season, and everyone gets round you, and you kind of settle in. But you know, internationals is kind of a week away, then you go away, and so on. You've got a lot of games, a lot of time, and you know, it can be difficult. And I remember when I was young, I was obviously, I'd only been at Dundee United for 9 months, so didn't know any of the lads. You know, only played against, you know, Scott Brown and James Forrest and that, you know, a couple of times in the SPL. But I remember how important they were and other players were to letting me settle in. You know, my first camp was amazing. Gordon Strachan helped me settle in, the coaches did, but you know, people like Scott Brown, Darren Fletcher, everything like that really helped me do what I do on the pitch. And that's what I was trying to get across to these boys, and I will say it again to them, but that's why they're in the squad. You know, not because of anything else, it's because of what they do on the pitch, and obviously good references off the park as well. And I've obviously played against Billy a couple of times, know him, spoke to him a couple of times throughout, and you know, he's a confident lad, he's an unbelievable footballer. David Turnbull, I know a couple of, you know, I've spoke to him a couple of times when he went through his injury when the Celtic move had collapsed the first time. He's got the same agents as me, so I'd spoke to him a couple of times. Nathan, I don't really know. So I think it's important to get as many friendly faces as you can. Somebody to rely on, and they three can definitely come to me for anything during the camp, and hopefully everything will go smoothly for them. But I've got no doubts about it. It's a fantastic squad, a fantastic group of people, and I know all three of them will settle in really quickly, and I'm sure they'll love what's lying ahead for them.
It'll come as no surprise to you that the whole nation is raving about Gilmour. We watch him from afar. You've seen him up close.
Yeah, I played in the first game, his first start, I think, against Liverpool in the FA Cup, and he got man of the match, and we got beat, which wasn't great. But I remember going up after the game and thinking, just keep doing what you're doing. You'll be in the Scotland squad soon enough with the performances, and I think, obviously I know a couple of the Chelsea boys, and what they say is his attitude's spot on. In terms of training, he puts everything into training, and then when he gets his chance, he never really disappoints. And I think you see that from the age he's at. You can see that the Chelsea manager trusts him in big games, and to do that, it shows you're doing something right. So Billy's a special talent, but it's just about using that talent and keeping his attitude, keeping level-headed. And from I know him, but I don't know him as well. But from the people that are close to him, there's absolutely no doubts about that. So he'll have a huge future. He's already started very well, and he'll have a huge career in the game. And I'm excited to see him grow, and I'm sure he'll be in a Scotland jersey for many years to come.
We've talked about Jurgen Klopp. Tell me about Steve Clarke and what he's brought to the international scene.
He's been unbelievable, genuinely, from the minute he came in. He's been an absolute joy to work with. The Gaffer's brought a new lease of life into a Scotland squad that was doubting himself. There was a lack of belief in the squad. There was people doubting themselves in a Scotland jersey and things like that. And the Gaffer just came in and said, "This is a very good squad." From the day one, he said, "I believe we can get to a major tournament." Did he think it would happen at first go? I'm not sure. You would need to ask him, but it's worked out perfectly for him. And
how did you take it when he said, "I believe we can get there"?
I believed. I generally, the way he said it, and the way, the person I am, I believed. I always did, and I always believed that we'd be the group of boys that finally got us there, and it was just about us showing it on the park. And it was about the first couple of months was tough under him. We didn't get the results we wanted, but in training we were doing all the things he was asked. It was just then replicating it into the games, and we struggled with that. But luckily we done that. We started doing it. We started picking up good results. We finished off the campaign strong, and then went all guns blazing into the playoffs. We had nothing to lose, and we had everything to gain. And I think we just took that attitude. So he's been a breath of fresh air. He's been a joy to work with. Really easy as captain. Working with him, and hopefully he's the manager for a long time to come. And hopefully we have more successful days like that night in Serbia.
What does it mean to you to be Andy Robertson, Scotland captain?
It means everything. Being able to be captain of your country means the world. But for me, the biggest honour is it's a special group of boys, and I love being able to walk out in front of them. I think we've got so many good players, good people, and everything like that, and I'm just the one lucky enough to put the armband on and walk out in front of them. So, when I first got captaincy, I was thinking, I'm captain of the country, I'm, representing the people and everything, I'm representing my family, which of course I am, and that's a huge honour in itself. But genuinely with this group of boys, the biggest honour is being able to, walk out in front of them and being able to, be the first one to walk out. And that for me is huge. I've played with a lot of the boys, growing up, people like John McGinn. Me and him have had plenty of battles from about 10 years old. When he was at St Mirren, I was at Celtic, and we fought the whole way through. But me and McGinn, we've been through it all together, and obviously played with Stu Armstrong at Dundee United and things like that. And I've now played against all the boys at youth level, and it's now my kind of age group. When I first came into the squad, it was all your Snodgrasses, your MacArthurs, everyone that played against each other, and I was like, they were all talking about the olden times, and I'd missed out. But now me and McGinn and Armstrong and things like that can sit back, have a coffee, and talk about all the good old days. So look, it's a fantastic bunch of boys, like I said, and but being captain for me, for them is everything, and hopefully we can do well.
Your family must be incredibly proud seeing you with the armband. The big pressure, of course, is you've got to try and get tickets for them all.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. I think I think I would be close to selling out the stadium myself, to be honest, with the amount of people. But you know, my family are hugely supportive, especially when it comes to Scotland games. You know, it's a bit more difficult to come down here for aunties, uncles, cousins, things like that. But you know, for Scotland games, I've always had a lot of tickets. This time round, unfortunately, it won't be possible. But hopefully, you know, I can get my mum and dad, my missus, my kids in, and you know that will mean the world to me. Hopefully, my brother, but time will tell. But you know, with it being a limited capacity, then you know the tickets need to be divvied up evenly. You know, you need to get the Tartan Army in as well and everything like that, and we respect that, and it'll be good to get some of our family members in. But the other ones will be rooting for us at home. You know, hopefully life keeps on going back to normal, and I can maybe, you know, sort them out, you know, a private room somewhere, and they can all watch it together, because that would mean the world to me. You know, knowing that my granddad and everyone watching it together with all the family. So hopefully we can sort something like that. But I'd love them to be in the stadium. But you know, unfortunately, I won't be able to get everyone in.
How great will it be for the players that some members of the Tartan Army will be there?
It'll be everything. You know, I'm trying to think. The last game we played in front of the Tartan Army, it probably would have been the last qualifying game, wouldn't it? Maybe against Cyprus or whatever, and it was a lot different then. You know, we'd obviously had a disappointing campaign. We thought we would have been, you know, probably pushing Russia a wee bit more for that second place, and we managed to finish third, of course, but we were quite a bit off Russia, unfortunately, and you know, there wasn't many fans in the stadium, you know, things like that. I think there was only maybe 15,000 and things like that. But since then, I think we've gave them a boost. We've gave them something to live through in COVID, and the Tartan Army, we can feel their love. You know, we felt it in Serbia, you know, being so far away. We felt how much they wanted us to do it, how much they wanted to be at a major tournament, and to even have a small proportion of them in will mean everything to them, I'm sure, but it'll mean everything to us, and hopefully we can give them something to cheer about.
Just before we get to talk about the opponents, you'll have a couple of warm-up games. I imagine Steve Clarke says he's got almost the 11 in his mind that he wants to start, so the two warm-up games will be so crucial to get that feel of what you're going to do, the game plan, essentially.
Yeah, of course. You know, we've never been in this situation where we've had to go to a pre-camp and have warm-up games, so it'll be a nice feeling. So, like, obviously we play Holland, which, you know, are probably one of the favourites for the tournament, and it'll be a tough task for us. But you know, it's like you said, it serves a purpose. It's there to warm us up for the tournament ahead, and we're going to play some very good nations. So why not test ourselves against one of the best? And then, you know, on our way home from the pre-camp, we play Luxembourg, which is a different task and a different, you know, it'll be difficult in different ways. So two games obviously leading up to the big ones, and it'll keep our match fitness. You know, some boys have, like the championship boys, have been finished since early May, and it'll get them some game time, and it'll get all of us game time, and keep us match sharp, and then, you know, we'll be ready to hopefully fly into the Czech Republic game.
I sense a steely determination about you. I love the spirit that's in the camp, and obviously the words you've told us about the manager. Suddenly, we've got the Czech Republic, they're 40th in the FIFA rankings. You've then got Croatia, 14th, and then you've got England, who are 4th. It's a tall order. Are you looking and thinking, right, we can get out of this group?
You have to believe. You know, we've been able to change the mentality in the squad to one that believes. You know, there was probably a lack of belief when the manager came in, and you know, down to the manager and down to the players as well. We've managed to change that, and now going into games, we believe, okay, we can cause bigger nations problems, and we can beat the nations that are similar in ability to us. We can beat the lower nations, which sometimes we struggled against. So we're not there to just make up the numbers. It's an incredibly tough group. We've played Czech Republic in the Nations League, and the away game was obviously, you know, I don't think any of the players will be in their squad because of the COVID hit and everything, and you know, it wasn't realistic, but we managed to get a good result at home, and that was closer to their team. But they're an incredibly tough team. You know, I've played against Zucek and Kufau and things like that from West Ham, and I know how good these players are, and they're full of quality. But look, we're not there to make up numbers. Like I said, we're there to try and get out of the group, and we need to believe that, and we do believe that, and if we can get off to a good start, then, you know, who knows where it will take us.
Yeah, England, I mean, I don't know if you can remember that point when the second goal for Scotland hits the back of the net. I'm standing with Kenny Miller. We're covering it. Kenny Miller, Chris Commons, Alan Ruff, myself. we are cuddling each other because we're thinking this is unbelievable. What was going through your head? I mean, I'd love to replicate
Yeah,
that.
I was going to say, hopefully you're replicating that soon. But like that, that feeling was it's the loudest I've ever heard Hampden. It was the only disappointing thing was we didn't hold on. Really we should have won the game, and that was disappointing. But when Griff scored the second free kick, I was just in kind of disbelief because only a couple of minutes before he'd put the first one in. So that was but that showed us as well that we can compete. If we can compete against England, of course, time's passed after then. Their squad's changed, our squad's changed, and but look, England are a tough opponent. They're full of quality. I know some of them close and personal, and I know how good these players are. But look, we need to go there and try and make it difficult for them. That's all we can do, and we need to try our best, and hopefully we can get another positive result, which will stand us in good stead. And hopefully you're cuddling people, Peter. That's the aim. That's what we'll try and keep in our mind. That's what we'll try and aim for. But look, we have to go there. We have to believe that we can get something from the game and try and cause them problems. But we need to be spot on defensively.
You've played against them, as you mentioned, every one of those England players. Is there one in particular you think just got to watch him? Is it a Kane moment again, or is it someone else?
It's Henderson for me, unfortunately. My captain. He can get quite angry on the pitch when I'm in the team. So hopefully he doesn't get angry at me on the opposite team. But no, like they're full of quality. Obviously, I know Hendo and I know Trent. Hopefully he'll be in the squad, and I know they too. Close and personal, and know how good they are. I've played against you like Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, Raheem Sterling, and everything like that, and we know how good the players they are. They're world class players. Their squad is full of quality, and but our squad's got quality there as well. And our squad, we believe, when our game plan works, then we can cause teams problems. And we have to do that to Czech Republic, England, and Croatia, and hopefully games after that. And we have to do it to all three to get out of the group. So we'll be looking to do the same thing. But like I said, we'll need to be spot on defensively. We'll need to keep their attacking boys quiet, and we need to try and cause them problems of our own. And if we do that, then hopefully we can get a positive result.
Yeah, just as an aside, you mentioned all the young players coming in to the Scotland squad. How crucial and how vital is it that Kieran Tierney looks as if he's going to be fit in alongside you? I always look at that. People look and say, "Oh, there's two left backs." I always look at the positivity of it and say, "Wait a minute, there's two great players that we've got in the team."
Yeah, look, I obviously played the game against Arsenal when KT done his knee. I'd spoke to him after the game, and obviously you're all uncertain. Then you could see he was, he was gutted. He was gutted about the injury, and then I spoke to him the next day after the scan, and luckily it wasn't as bad as first feared. And he's played a couple of games for Arsenal, which is perfect for us. Getting him up to match fitness, been training fully, and KT's a fantastic footballer, and he's a pleasure to play alongside. When we play five at the back, I think me and him, especially in the last couple of months, have got the balance right. We're both working well together defensively and going forward, and I think we've proved to people that we can both play in the same team, which some people doubted. I'm not really sure why, but they did. And like I said, KT, I've got a lot of time for him as a person, but as a footballer, he's an incredible player, and he's still young. People forget that he's still got a lot of potential ahead of him to get even better. And he already is a fantastic player, but he'll only get better and better with his attitude and the way he goes about the game. And he'll be a massive player for us.
Yeah, you're only 27. You're still young.
I know. I'm getting on a bit.
Calm your jets. You've got years ahead of you. You've got another 2 deals at Liverpool to fight.
Yeah, hopefully.
I've got to ask you. Everybody can debate it. Statisticians till they're blue in the face. 3 points, 4 points to get out of this group.
It's a tough one. You never know. You never know until you get there. It'll be a tough one. You don't know how other results will go, how your results will go. So, look, we'll go into every game looking to win them. I know it's a kind of cliche answer, but that's the way we've got to attack it. We've got to go and attack this tournament. It's a massive achievement qualifying for it after so long. But now that we've qualified and we've achieved that, we need to go and try and compete in it, and that's got to be the aim. So we'll be looking to get off to a fast start. We want to, especially in front of our home fans playing against Czech Republic. We hope that we can get 3 points there, and that will stand us in good stead. And then the next two, will be really tough away to England, and then home to Croatia. Hopefully we can use our fans again. So we don't know how many points it will take. You know, we've just got to try and get out of the group. We've got to try and stay positive. We've got to try and get as many points as we can, and you know, hopefully we can get into the last 16, because you know that would be a huge achievement from us.
Just a few questions to finish, and I've got to ask you. I mean, I look at the man cave that we're in at the moment. I'm so delighted the Young Player of the Year award that I handed over to you is there, but it's slightly been gazumped by everything else. I mean, I'm looking here. I couldn't think of a better backdrop with the European Cup in there. It's a difficult question, but what pleased you the most? The wait is over and winning the league, or the European Cup?
I think, you know, not usually for any club, I think winning the Champions League is the top of the mountain. You know, winning against all these amazing teams and every team in it. But when you're at Liverpool and the day you sign for Liverpool, you realise how much the fans want the Premier League, and that was something that they wanted for a very long time. And I think being able to give that to the fans was something that is so special. You know, winning the Champions League was amazing, but the one thing that was different is teams had done it before. You know, obviously 2005 and the Kenny Dalglish era and all that, they'd won it. You know, we've won it 6 times, but no other team had won the Premier League. And I think being able to tick that off for the club and being able to know what you've achieved and seeing all the fans react to that was special. And we're just kind of gutted that we didn't manage to, you know, parade the trophy, lift it in front of the fans and everything, and that's where the Champions League will always stay in my mind. The day after, being able to go through the streets of Liverpool holding that trophy above your head. I think there was about 900,000 on the streets, which is just a phenomenal number, and being able to celebrate it. But, you know, luckily we've got both, and I don't need to decide what one's better. Both of them were as good as each other in different ways, but you know, just being able to bring trophies to this club was huge for me and huge for the squad, and you know, hopefully there's a couple more to come.
Yeah, well, I was a huge Kenny Dalglish fan. He was my hero as a boy, and loved Liverpool and used to go down and watch them at Anfield. He must have been delighted as well, because when I was growing up, I thought Liverpool just won every year anyway.
Yeah, look, that was the thing. You know, Liverpool won. It was a kind of surprise if Liverpool didn't win the trophy at one point. You know, and then they go so long, but I suppose it was similar to Scotland. Scotland were used to qualifying for tournaments, then all of a sudden it stopped. So, you know, the stories are very similar. But, you know, Kenny, for me, has been, you know, amazing for me and my family. He's helped me throughout, helped me with difficult things with Scotland and Liverpool. And, you know, with a legend like that, somebody that's got a stand named after him, and you know, he doesn't have to do that, but he takes time out for me, takes time out for my family, and you know, always looks out for me. And from somebody of that caliber to do that is always nice. So, but you know, I don't think there was many happier than him when we managed to produce the Premier League trophy. And but you know, he's been through it all. He's been through it all. He's been manager, he's been player, he's been, you know, he's just a legend now at the club. He's an ambassador or whatever he is, but you know, he's been through all the good and the bad times, and to be able to see his face when we'd won the league is a memory that I don't think many of us will forget.
And have you mentioned to them, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Liverpool only really have hugely successful times when they have a Scot in their side.
I tell my teammates that every day.
Thank you, Andy. Well done.
Every day when things are tough. So maybe when I'm finished here, that will get another Scot into the squad if I keep going. So, but yeah, you know, I remember getting told that when I first came. You know, the mostly successful Liverpool squads are the ones with Scot in it, and I hoped that I would be one of them. And luckily, you know, I'm not up there, nowhere near Kenny Dalglish and Souness and things like that. I'm nowhere near them, and I never will be. But just been bringing trophies to this club, it's an amazing thing, and being able to be another Scot that's won the league and the Champions League for this club, you know, it's a list of legends, and luckily I can fit in the bottom of it.
Yeah, absolutely. You do yourself a disservice. The nation's tremendously proud of you. 2 questions to finish then. The European Cup's behind us, the Champions League final, 2 English clubs. Where's your money on?
Oh, it's a tough one. Man City have been incredible this season. In a tough season with, you know, no fans, special circumstances, everything like that. They got off to a slow start, and then they just hit in gear, and nobody could catch them. They've been a different, you know, level, and I think if they perform on the level they have done so consistently this season, then I can't see by them. But Chelsea under Tuchel have been a different animal. You know, they've been a different team. They've got a different mindset, a different setup way. And I think the 2 games they've played against Man City, they've won. So they'll be full of confidence as well. I'd love to see wee Billy winning the Champions League. I'd love him to be the next Scot to win it. So, you know, hopefully he has a good day and hopefully he wins it. But I do think if Man City do perform on the level they can do, you know, I can't see by them this time.
Yeah, it's a club close to your heart, Liverpool. Absolutely, you are immersed in the history. You've etched yourself into the history of it. Would you love to finish your career here, or could somebody coax you back to Scotland at the tail end of your career? Maybe Celtic.
I get asked this question a lot, you know. And look, my aim is to finish at Liverpool. I'd love to finish at Liverpool, but I know how tough it is to stay at the highest level, and that's why, you know, I'd love to play for Celtic. But when I was a young boy and growing up, I always said I would give my best years to Celtic, and I don't want to go there when I'm old and I'm, you know, maybe can't move as much and I get all my mates hating on me because I can't perform the way I maybe used to. So, you know, like, time will come to make that decision. Just now I've got, you know, I've still got a good length on my contract at Liverpool. I hope to stay here, you know, forever. I hope to retire here, but, you know, if I keep going and I feel fit, I feel healthy, I feel, you know, just now. But, you know, when you get into your 30s, I think maybe things change. But I'd love to retire at this club. But if not, then I'd look at options, and, you know, I'd love to pull on the Celtic shirt. Of course I would, but I don't want to be an old fart when I go up there. I want to be able to still play well, and if I can't do that, then, you know, I won't get my mates hating on me, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it, because most of the mates that I went to school with, we've started a GoFundMe page to try and afford the fee to get there. It's going to take a few quid. We've only got about 30 bob in it at the moment, but we definitely put the money in there. Listen, it's been an absolute joy speaking to you. Nothing, I'm sure I speak for everyone in Scotland, nothing would please us more than to see us get out of this group, but to see you captaining the country, we are all batting for you. Fingers crossed we have something to remember. Andy Robertson, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Peter, top man. Thank you.